I can't believe it's 8 something right now. It's kind of rush hour. There's just not a lot of activity going on. So there's an open Walgreens. You know, the thing about Walgreens and when they're closing and all that stuff, it's not one thing. Like shoplifting, obviously that affects your bottom line. And people that say these stores have insurance, that's ridiculous. They don't know how insurance works. The insurance just turns your spikes in losses when people shoplift. It turns it into a monthly bill, and that's it. It's just so that the stores can predict, based on their experience, their insurance will go up for what they've lost. Lest we forget that there used to be Long's Drug, there used to be Save On and all that stuff. Even Rite Aid is pretty much gone now. So what happened was Walgreens and CVS carpet bombed many of these areas with new locations that ran the smaller, the Save On, the Osco, all that stuff. It ran them out of business. And then what happened was, once you have the economics of it, a lot of these places, what happens is the lease goes up. There's this weird phenomenon that's happening in all these cities. They keep raising the leases on retail, commercial spaces. The rent just keeps going up and up, even though demand is going down and down. So a lot of this is just like a hoarding thing. And California is really bizarre. See, what happened was California was really thirsty. They were building a lot of highway projects and infrastructure projects and dam projects and all that stuff. And California was just spending money like crazy. So Proposition 13 came out of the notion, okay, if we're going to pay state income tax, if we're going to pay 5 cents sales tax, all these things were kind of put in piecemeal. So in our wonderful direct democracy fashion, Proposition 13 just basically said that you are protected, your property taxes will go up 1%. So that way you won't get priced out of your home, which is great. But the problem is there's a lot of abuse, or maybe not even abuse, it's just a lot of corporations are taking advantage of ridiculously low property taxes. So in my mind, it's like, well, there's people and there's corporations, just separate the two. But that's the complex world that we live in. So the result is you get a lot of these empty storefronts. But there still is a lot of stuff that's open. I'm really enjoying my weirdo. I don't care. There's one thing I noticed about this place is I'm tired of people looking at me. I'm just kind of. There's two different people. There's people that look at me and just kind of wonder. They just have this strange look on their face, like what the hell is this guy doing? And then there's people that really disapprove of my camera, and you can just see it, you can read it. But eye contact around here is it's a weird thing. So that's a Muni station. The Muni and the BART go under Market Street. So now we're heading down Van Ness. There's some pretty big new projects over here. Mission. So we got a little freeway stub down there. We got a green bike lane down there. Which way do we want to go? So I got gas, $4.79 cash price. Looks like we got Tuesday morning rush hour on the freeway over here. So we got kind of this purgatory between the Civic Center area, Market Street, and just on the other side of this little freeway stub is the Mission District. Alright, so down there's the Mission. We just gotta cross this freeway. Kind of a former industrial area, so you get a little bit more sunlight around here. If there was some sun. There's supposed to be a maze of freeways. Not a maze, but you know, like 4 or 5 different freeways to connect the Bay Bridge to the Golden Gate Bridge and all kinds of crazy stuff. So LA got a lot of money from San Francisco giving up their freeways. San Francisco is a really car-centric place. It's wasn't until the 70s that the BART came back, and that was like a revolutionary idea. Like the Bay Area was just like Los Angeles as far as requiring your car to do everything. So San Francisco is one of the first West Coast cities to really champion, and the BART was extremely revolutionary. Well, nothing like a freeway to delineate neighborhoods. We're now on the Mission. Shit, we got hazmat. Woo! I don't want to be anywhere near that hazmat. Oh, they're just washing the truck.
And then dealing with I don't want to lose my job.
So this is San Francisco Public Works in action. We got the Audi dealer. Jesus. Who doesn't want an Audi dealer in your neighborhood? And a Volkswagen. And one of those stupid driverless vehicles. So I guess they crowbarred in the Audi dealer because of these. Looks like there's some old garages and stuff. Not a whole lot to see on this street except for these very new so you got a lot of old and a lot of new. These are very old, Victorian. And I guess we're just gonna have to deal with all these square blocks. This is how high density apartments are built nowadays, so we just gotta kind of get used to it, I guess. Better than nothing. Oops. Probably be best to keep a lookout for autonomous cars as well as the usual cars driven by idiots. So I think we're gonna head towards the west. Van Ness is kind of a South Van Ness appears to be a very sleepy street. There's the BART. So whatever this building is, they seem to have the ability to lease out all the retail space. We just passed the dude that was selling stolen merchandise. I don't think he had a wholesaler's card. Is there places in San Francisco that have like concentrations of tents? I think this is about as far south as we care to go. So we're on Mission 19th Street. So let's make a right. Let's see if we can swing over to the park. Let these guys wander around. Seems like a very traditional neighborhood. Seems a lot like Boyle Heights. It's a nice, quiet residential area. Pretty clean too. Yeah, it's just like LA. There's a bunch of nudniks out there that are shitting and messing up the sidewalks, and the city just can't keep up with it. I noticed that there's not as many trash cans in the city, so that's an easy like budget cutting thing. So the neighborhood changed just a couple blocks over. We got a totally different vibe over here. Damn, that's crazy. Just a block over. So different. So we got the bicycle express lane, but very dead. So I just have to hypothesize a couple things. I bet you the people that live in some of these pricey apartments probably work from home. And they're busy at work right now. I just assume that these are high-end rentals. I bet you these older ones with the cracked paint probably still pretty expensive. Alright, not to be judgmental, but I found myself in Yuppie Central. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm made uncomfortable by tech people. So this neighborhood is like pristinely clean. So it varies drastically by block, like a lot of places. So I have a feeling that I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. I wish I had enough time, and I wish my little guys, they got limited leg power. So we've made it to our destination. Here's Dolores Street. Even better that it's been raining, so it's nice and lush and green. It's crazy how they're able to load on a slope like that.
J. Churchtown. Embarcadero Station.
So it's interesting, when you go someplace by yourself, sometimes you have no excuse not to hear people's conversations. So it's weird going through these neighborhoods and occasionally going past like the yuppie style avocado toast place with hearing people talk about their stupid jobs. So I'm hoping we can find a place to get something to eat and relax a little bit. Unfortunately, we have like 3 miles back to the hotel, so gotta take a break pretty soon. They got cops on dirt bikes. I don't think I've seen that north of the border anywhere. I was just walking past them and I had the camera in my hand, but it wasn't turned on. And they all kind of like hammed it up. They revved the engines a little bit, but I didn't get to them in time. So we got quite a ways to go. Actually, right now, just searching for a place. Might have too many credentials. I'd like it to be in the sun, and I'd like for it to be takeout style, but there is nothing really open. I mean, a few places here and there. Some places seemed a little hoity-toity. Speaking of sun, let's go walk in the sun over here. It's not cold, but it's, I know these guys like being in the sun just a little bit better. People are assholes sometimes. I don't understand why holding a camera is so controversial. I really don't appreciate it. Crazy scumbags. I don't get it. Where I live, there's people that walk around with cameras all over the place, people doing all sorts of nonsense, and here I am just minding my own business. There's the infamous Safeway. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that Safeway's been there for quite a while. I think is there a couple of Safeways around the city? I'm not sure. So we're back on Market Street and slowly sauntering our way back into the area surrounding our hotel. So I'm getting a little deja vu because LA used to have these. These are French, the self-cleaning jobs. The only problem is they break down constantly and nobody knows how to fix them. Nobody knows how to fix them properly, so I don't know. Doesn't seem like rocket science, but so we got rid of them and just replaced them with just regular old restrooms. So we got Safeway and the Whole Foods, all of the staples. There's a correlation between LA and San Francisco for sure. There's definitely very similar development oddities. So there's no shortage of luxury rentals in this city for sure. There's just not all of the upscale amenities. Ooh, there is a pet store. A triangular Whole Foods building. Even better. I don't even really shop at Whole Foods ever, but I don't know. I think it's nice to be able to go to a store that has almost everything, as well as the mom and pop store. But very, very clean area. Some more new development. All right, we are in luck. You guys hungry? You hungry, Riley? Let's get you some sort of a treat. Yes. See, the mom and pop places, no, they have sweaters. You want a sweater? All right, let's try this on. How's that? All right. I do kind of like that you can sit and just pop a squat and just relax anywhere around here and it's kind of normal. Let's try this one on you. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. Look at you guys. You guys are looking sharp. Look at this. Hey, Coochie. Hey, you look sharp. How's it going? All right, ready to go. So it looks always best to support the smaller businesses. So you just dropped $100 on sweaters, but those are pretty awesome quality. All right, well that was a pretty good walk, but I gotta be honest, I'm looking forward to putting my camera away. But eye-opening as always. There's nothing more fun than going to a city, especially a city with such a history and a legacy, and just kind of wander around. These guys seem to like it. Got a couple people kind of roll their eyes at me because it looks like I'm not paying attention to them, but believe me, I'm paying attention to them the entire time. So I think we're gonna walk down Market Street all the way down. The historic streetcars are pretty amazing to watch. I know people that live here probably don't think that much of them, but it's really cool to see all of those old streetcars just carrying on their duty. Amazing to think that every major city in America was once crisscrossed with thousands of lines. Octavia. This used to be a freeway right here. Freeway overpass, the Central Freeway. That's the 101 freeway down there, or 101 I guess it's called. And the freeway, they abbreviated the freeway to right here. And it used to keep going that way for a couple more blocks, maybe even as much as a mile away. But they turned it into a surface street. So that's the Central Freeway. So at one time this was the freeway underpass right here. You know, it's weird. I'm not as saddened by the state of the city, knowing that some of the social problems can be fixed, but what I'm concerned about is the economics. California doesn't really have a culture of supporting small businesses. And really, without small businesses, all you're going to do is have the same patchwork of head shops. But it looks like just an economically depressed area. It doesn't look unfixable or incurable. The one thing that's like radically different from the Great Depression era is that there's a lot of money in this neighborhood, or in these neighborhoods, in the whole city. There's a lot of people making a lot of money. I guess they just get their products delivered to them. So just like back at home, the neighborhood's changed by block. It's kind of crazy. Come on.